In 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to Janky AF and my janky life. All right, we are headed back down into the basement now. You know, a lot of these episodes will take place in the basement, at least for right now, but it's not like the whole episode. It's my janky life. I don't spend my entire janky life in my janky basement. However, we spend a fair amount of time down here. So, okay, we got the drying rack here. Now, we saw these earlier. I got more of them. I want to talk about this real quick. So I am painting these again for a gypsy caravan. You have to look up what a gypsy caravan is, but the point is I'm using this great one-shot paint, which I love. So these are just little PVC, pieces of PVC. They take paint well, and they hold up much, much better than wood. Now, this is an old wood one, and this is the original that came off the original caravan. My buddy Wiley, very handy, creative fella. He 3D printed and 3D scanned those. So this is like, and then, you know, they get this base purple coat. It's funny because it kind of looks brown, but if you look at it close, it's actually this purple. They get the base purple coat. It needs like 3 or 4 coats. And once that's all built up, we can start layering our outside colors. And, you know, sometimes you have to kind of like hand paint in these little grooves if they don't totally come out from the 3D scan. Anywho, it's a very, very fun project, and I get to kind of, you know, do little tiny detailed infinitesimal tedious brushing, which is like sort of my forte and what I like to do. So this is like a yellow paint. We're thinking this is a brass, and I just got this brass in the mail. Shout out to One Shot. If you want to sponsor this program, let me know. Janky do thanky. So we'll see how the brass goes. This is my good buddy James. He does these wonderful paintings of Seagull Lake, and I actually think I'm going to buy this one off him because I really like it. I like these swirls in the sky, and it's just a very simple motif, but he does it in lots of ways. So in our neck of the woods, there's this beautiful lake with this beautiful tree line, and he does a great job with the reflections and everything. So he was over here the other day, did some painting, and those are just drying out. We have a laundry situation. You know, it's been a while here. This is all vacuumed, all cleaned. We have gotten into organization, and I didn't mention also the red on the floor is done now too. So that's another color. Now I want to sort of finish it to this level and have a straight line going over there. However, the last time I painted the floor, you notice we're walking on it too. It takes a while to dry, but once it gets dry, it's so good. It's everything I could have hoped for. It's gonna you know, just be so much better and collect so much less dust than a dry bare concrete floor. It'll be cleaned easier. I like the colors. However, when I painted it, I basically stunk up my whole house because the fumes were right next to this furnace. They were getting carried through all the ductwork throughout the entire house. A little bit of a disaster, learning curve, and me just being sort of like naive and not realizing that might happen. So the only bummer about that is now I have to be a little more careful, and I really want to keep painting because I love the way it looks and I want to see the floor progress. But we might have to wait till the temperatures get a little bit warmer, just so we can air out the house a little bit more and don't have to run the furnace as much. And there you have it. Okay, the slop sink is great. You know, I actually have it turned on right now, so you can see, and it's got a sprayer. Its sprayer works so good. You know, coming from my last sink, this is such a, and you can see it emptying into the bucket. And I just emptied these buckets out, and I got 2 more. So what I try to do is every time I wash a brush out after work, I try to do a little bit extra. So I try to do like 1 extra roller. I have this pile of rollers and brushes, and eventually I'll get caught up. But I just 1 extra thing every day. And doing that already, I've got these stack of 5 rollers. These are 18-inch rollers. These are awesome. If you have like a really big project, it's so much, you know, it's literally twice the length of a 9-inch roller, and you use this little cage to put it on. And especially doing something like ceilings, it's really amazing. Now today we were doing a ceiling. However, it was an older ceiling, so it just wasn't, you know, if you have a ceiling that's not perfectly flat, that big roller is going to be hard because it's going to teeter-totter on the ceiling. So we were actually using a 14-inch roller today. And this is a big janky do thanky because we can hook that up to the same sort of mechanism. It's got 2 ends on it and it clips in right here. However, when you buy these 14-inch rollers in the store, it doesn't come with these little clips. So these pop into the end right here like that, and then your roller mechanism can go in there and hold them in. However, if I hadn't been such a janky person and saved like everything, I just had 2 of these clips lying around. These are like the Worcester ones and these are the Purdy ones. So that was great because I could just chuck those in there, put my roller mechanism on it, and then off to the races. So, you know, hoarding stuff, there's such a thin line between like being a hoarder and just being like really you know, janky and efficient. And you know, this program is hopefully about me trying to like dance upon that line, dancing on a razor's edge, you know, and we're trying to clean up our bad habits and augment our good habits. So that's what we're doing. You know, the other thing I'll say about a bucket is these buckets have been great. I just take them out there and, you know, I never have to worry about my septic getting dirty. And also in a pinch, because right now the only bathroom in the house is all the way upstairs until we get our powder room put in. So in a pinch, these buckets work very good as mobile, you know, urine toilets. You know, so far it's only been urine in there. I have, and that's probably how it'll stay without getting too into it. So janky do thank you. Okay, we have this table again, got it for free, future mother-in-law, thank you very much. So I think we'll set that up right here, actually, with those canvases now, and then we'll have a great table here. Now again, it's binge and purge. It gets neat, gets tidy, gets vacuumed, and then, you know, it gets messy again. But now we have a clothing rack down here, which was just taking up space in my shop anyways. We have a nice little desk down here. And then I think we'll have one more table so we can do all our folding of laundry and everything and be organized and tidy, and that's going to be wonderful. But I did just mock this up here because I wanted to start doing a little painting in my basement, you know, acrylic painting, like canvas artsy painting, and not just, I guess, like craft painting. I don't know, it's Janky Painting and Toilet Company. We paint anything. However, I just want to see how that went. It's got a light right there. There's not really a good place to put all the paints as I'm working. So we'll move now, and this is sort of the big reveal. We'll move into the tack room, which you have not really seen in a while, but this is completely cleared out. Like I had to get all this, of course now there's more crap in here, but I got all this crap out of here, all this wood that's on these shelves now, and these old grates there. And the shelving that came from the last episode. So this has been completely cleaned out. The floor has been swept and vacuumed. It's much cleaner. It just feels nicer in here. And this will be the tack room. But in the meantime, we were doing a little sort of media. And I brought this light down here. Again, this light was free, came with the house. I like how this is sort of like a more classy piece against the backdrop. I didn't know if I was going to paint this wall, and shout out to Mike Z who commented on this wall. I'm sorry I haven't responded to your comment yet, and I saw that you were fixing your bidet, so janky do thank you. But I think I might just spray like a clear coat on here because I want to get rid of some of this like really loose stuff, maybe vacuum it up. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But I was going to paint it, and now I think I just kind of want to seal it because it kind of feels like a bomb shelter in here, but with like nice furniture. And I like the sort of like classy furniture in a bomb shelter vibe. I don't know why. I just like it. So I think now we're gonna put wood laminate floor down, and that's gonna be cool. Although now I'm even thinking, man, maybe I should just paint this floor with like an acrylic epoxy, you know, especially if I keep it gray and do the whole bunker thing. But I think I got so much of this laminate flooring, I'm just gonna paint it with laminate. Rather slap the laminate down, paint the concrete here, maybe paint this. I want to get some sort of, I know, you know, I would just like to like put like a epoxy or, you know, basically just like joint compound and mud and swirl it around and make it sort of like a texture coat. But I got to read, you know, all the comments that I got previously from the actual construction people and see what they should do, and then I'll make my decision. Finally, this is a sort of big reveal too. I have a painting here that I've been working on. Perhaps you've seen it in the background. And I just did all this hand. So I print this off, and then you'll see it in the final video, and then I cut all these letters out with an X-Acto knife, and then I cut the actual strips to fit in the sentence structure how I want it, and then I tape it on here, use a what do you call it? One of those white pencils. It's like a grease pencil to just roughly trace it out, and then I paint everything by hand. And actually, it's a reference to Ween and to Robert Colescott, two big influences of mine. And shout out to Ween. You know, I heard that their the front end of their tour was going to be postponed, so sending all the members of Ween my well wishes. I am a longtime fan of that band. And, you know, there's a lot to unpack and explain in this painting, and we'll get there one day, but we're at 10 minutes, so I think that's it for now here on My Janky Life. So thank you so much for watching. I'm very excited about this series and happy to be doing it and happy to have everybody along, and of course there'll be more Aerostar stuff. I just found a bunch of my cameras that I had lost, so that's super motivating, and I have 2 reviews, car reviews that need to get out. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so that's it for My Janky Life today. Thank you for joining me. We'll have another one for you soon, we hope. And until then, janky do thanky.